Hello Libra, welcome to your tarot reading for the month of December. In this general tarot reading, we will overview your main energy throughout this month, any tension points or any stresses that you might be encountering, and also we will see into ideas, approaches, and or solutions you could adopt to make the most out of your energy this December. So without further delay, I'll start shuffling the cards, and the first card that I will take will represent your context, your circumstances, your main energy throughout this month. And since this is a general reading, bear in mind that not everything might resonate with you, but that's okay. And what is important is that the things that resonate with you, you keep close to your heart. So, Libra, what are you up to this month? My moon is in Libra, and the moon position in your natal chart is supposed to represent the real you, your underbelly, essentially the part that is sensitive and that you might feel like you have to hide from the world. Okay. So I'm always digging into what Libra energy means for me. And tonight, Libra, you're ready to talk. So for your main energy, 3 cards flipped up, so I'll take all 3 of them as the first spread position. And we got 9 of Wands, 2 of Cups, reversed, and Ace of Swords. I'll just take a moment to take this energy in and narrow down its message. So, with these 3 cards coming up as your main energy this month, I see a trajectory through this month from feeling like you have to defend yourself to a shakeup in something which we'll get to later, and eventually we end with you holding the sword of truth in your hand and feeling ready to pull it out of this rock. Sorry, I'll just adjust my shit lighting. So, 9 of Wands is about the bit of your journey, the bit of your creative project, the bit of your personal or spiritual growth, the bit of your fire cycle, where things have taken off beyond your control. Things have started developing, fostering, and growing beyond your control. And it's a wonderful time of expansion. At the same time, since in 9 of Wands you're getting so close to wrapping up a cycle, wrapping up a project, wrapping up a part of the journey. Since we're getting so close, sometimes we feel so beaten down. Sometimes we feel so weary. Sometimes we feel like we're about to give up because suddenly it seems like things are out of our control. But 9 of Wands is sort of the last kick before you're done, before you can feel like you've completed and achieved something. So essentially, 901s is about uh, perseverance and patience and uh, showing up just one last time, one more time. It's in this sort of raw willpower that you feel like you're able to bare fisted attack your inner wolf, which I guess could represent any fears that are popping up um, as you are about to get rid of responsibilities and unrid yourself from unnecessary burdens. And I feel like this burden might come from I want to say a relationship, but because Two of Cups is a card of soulmates, of friendships, of appreciating each other's differences and loving the opposites and loving the complementary things and just connecting soul to soul, one soul to the other soul. So this being reversed feels like you might have felt like you have to defend yourself in the relationship. But when I'm talking about relationships, it can apply to either external relationships, so any friendships or work dynamics or romantic relationships. But this can also signal you clarifying your relationship to yourself, you fighting your own duality, and you fighting the things that are contradicting themselves emotionally within you, and you're feeling like you have to fight it, and you're feeling stuck in this, I guess, like loop of defending yourself or trying to make sense of it or trying to put it all together. But whatever dualities, whatever contradictions, whatever conflicting feelings are existing within you, you might feel like you are unable to finish this fucking business and resolve them. However, as we are ending in this exploration of abstract, vague, and conflicting, contradictory feelings, whether they be in your external relationships or in your relationship with yourself, we end on the Ace of Swords, which to me shows that this month of December, you are able to take all of this pent up, confused, conflicting energy and show up for it, give space for it, have faith in showing up for it one more time and trying to figure it out one more time. And through this sitting with this energy, through this patience, through perseverance, you manage to crystallize a integrated vision of what has been conflicting you. Because the Ace of Swords is the enlightenment, it's the eureka moment, it's, I guess, clouds parting and the hand with the sword and the truth just reaching out to you. So I feel like this signals that whatever might have made you feel conflicted or drained in the past, now you're able to start anew. You're able to integrate these concerns, you're able to integrate these worries into a new perspective, into a new mindset, and you're able to, I guess, subvert it and make it a powerful truth that will um, fast forward you, that will leap you into the next stage of your mental healing and into clarity of your vision. So with this, I would say, what's the word? With this process that I want to congratulate you for, and give you respect for, um, with this process, I wonder what the cards will say that you might be stressing about this month. So, Libra, what have you been reflecting on, and what have you been enlightened about? What has become crystal clear? And is there anything that is preventing you from believing and embracing your crystal clear vision and your new understanding? So, all right. As your tension point this month, we got the World, which is very interesting. The World is a major arcana card in tarot, and in tarot we have 22 major arcana cards, and these cards represent different major life lessons and growth opportunities that we experience for life and that we encounter. And the World represents the very last bit. It's literally the last card of the 22 arcanas. It's the very last bit of the journey. So it can represent finishing a very important chapter in your life, whether it is about graduating from school or whether it's about a all-encompassing mental shift. For example, the energy of the World is the energy of a paradigm shift. So let's say if you, personal example, if you used to eat meat and then you started eating vegan and you couldn't imagine yourself reverting back to eating anymore, that's sort of what the World would symbolize. The World would be the energy of having gone vegan and understanding that your world, your viewpoint, the way you interact with the world has shifted, and there's no way to take a step back. It's just full completion, and you have to go from a you have to start your interaction with the world from another level. It's in a way level up or level out or level beyond or level sideways. It's just a different paradigm that you're functioning from. So I'm saying this is interesting as your stressor point because usually the World is a very positive card because it represents it can represent complete self actualization, complete self-expression, complete integration, and self-individuation. Basically, if we start the major arcana with card number 0, the Fool, this is Fool having graduated all the fucking levels. So we'd love that, right? But I feel like somehow this Ace of Truth, this enlightenment, this new potential is conflicting with a recent change and all-encompassing upgrade in your life. perhaps when our world shifts so greatly, even though we have been enlightened about it, even though the Ace of Swords is blasting the world energy in our faces, and even though we are well aware that something new is happening, something new being the world's ending, new world's beginning, even though we're well aware, sometimes it's difficult to say goodbye to old ways, old familiar ways, familiar patterns, because when the world energy shows up in your life, when you realize that you might have had a mental breakthrough, and this paradigm shift, or when you've started something completely new and you can't go back to thinking in an old way. Sometimes that new energy might feel uncomfortable and scary because it's unfamiliar yet and you are not too sure what you can do with it. So I would say, if in the past you've been struggling to integrate and understand your dualities and make sense with the contradictions in your life, then the world's like, oh, you've done it. You've integrated it. Good job, sweetie. So perhaps it is a problem of acceptance and of embracing this new energy, embracing, saying farewell to an old version of yourself, and embracing that someone new is being born this very minute. Okay, I'm very intrigued in what the last card or cards I will draw, what it will offer us, because the final spread position is supposed to represent a solution that the cards could give us, a piece of advice that the cards could throw our way in order to make sense of what's happening December, in order to embrace the closing out of the cycles, embrace the finish line in some ways, and embrace the fact that we will never be the same. What are you up to, Libra? I want to know now. What have you completed? This feels very exciting. I feel like basically, I feel like you come from such, I don't want to say mundane, but perhaps mundane ruminations, mundane reflections, or mundane, very simplistic inner conflicts, right? From this sort of light and, I would say, playful realization energy, because none of these cards feel too heavy or too stressful. It just feels like a little bug, a little something you would value integrating and understanding. So through this very simple realization, through this minute, tiny, wee truth, through this simple truth, simple enlightenment, very simple answer or message that comes to you, your entire paradigm, your entire worldview suddenly starts shifting, and you realize, yeah, that's in the past. And perhaps that's why it's weird to embrace it, because it just came out of the blue. Perhaps you've been mulling over something for ages, and you told yourself the narrative that you will never understand how this relationship works, or that you will never resolve this inner conflict within yourself, and then one day you wake up and you're actually fine about it. The world. And that is scary. And as I was thinking that that's scary, as your practical advice this month, we got another major arcana, the devil. And I'm laughing because devil talks about fear, if we're on the subject of being scared. So the devil is asking you this December to evaluate where you are giving your power away and free yourself. Now, I'm really intrigued because the devil has been popping up left and right in December's readings. And I feel like it has to do with the fact that this month we have a shift in the astrological energies relating to the sign of Capricorn, because in December we start approaching Capricorn season, and we have more and more planets moving into the sign of Capricorn, and we have some major transits of planets that stay in one sign for a year. So some of these, such as Jupiter, are moving into the sign of Capricorn, and the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn rules the devil. So this is basically a Capricorn, a Saturnian, a December, end of December like card. This is the rebirth and coming back of the daylight after the winter solstice. And it is so because wherever you feel fearful, whatever makes you feel trapped or resistant, whatever you may feel like you want to repress, all of these things, yes, they're scary and uncomfortable, right? I don't know, fears ain't fun, addictions ain't fun, all of that jazz. But this card talks about the fact that you are in fact already capable and already able to take the chains off that the devil has put on you, because the only thing that is holding you tied to the fear, the only thing that is holding you entrapped in this fear and in this hell, the only thing that is doing that is your choice. If you choose to free yourself, even if you don't know how, why, or when, well, why? Perhaps because you want to try something different. Maybe some self-love. But basically, if you just try to free yourself, even though if you don't know how you'll actually do it, if you set the intention, I feel like you've already freed yourself in a way, just through acknowledging that that's where your heart wants to go. So if you are telling yourself narratives about what's possible for you, and what others think of you, and if you're telling yourself narratives about what's expected from you, and you are fearful, therefore, to share your shift, share your leveling up, share your change in perspective and change in relationship with the world. So you don't have to be so constricted and restrained in sharing that with the world, and sharing that with other people, and acknowledging it for yourself. So basically, this these two back to back together is telling me that whatever things are closing out in your life, whatever things are falling apart, and whatever new things are trying to flood themselves in, if they feel uncomfortable and scary, then it might be that they're actually good for you, but you might be giving your power away to fear, giving your power away to the fear of fear. You don't have to be afraid of fear, is what I'm getting. And if you know Bauhaus, listen to the song In Fear of Fear, and perhaps that's what the devil is talking about this month. So, Libra, big energies, big energies this December, which makes me feel really excited for you. Because even if you are unsure of yourself, even if you feel fear, the fact that these cards are here coming in strong with the truth of swords and enlightenment and eureka and complete self-individuation, and the only thing stopping you from embracing this shift is just a tiny bit of fear. That makes me feel real excited, because I feel like this energy is definitely powerful enough to look at this devil, look at these fears, these concerns from a new and simplified angle. So, Libra, if you've stayed with me here until the very end of the reading, then I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight and allowing me to see what you've been up to and where are you going this December, and I am really happy for you. I'm a tiny bit envious. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know what is the simple truth that you've realized, and what new adventure, what new paradigm are you excited to adopt this December. And that being said, I hope you have a lovely month of finding your power, your inner power back, and holding it strongly and trusting that it is your position, it is in your power to embrace what you can do, embrace what you can do on the basis of the fact that you are free. You're free to love yourself. Alright, Libra. I will see you again for later readings.